guys. This is my review for Wonder Man. I saw Yahya Abdul-Mateen II was cast as Simon Williams, Wonder Man, and Trevor Slattery back again, Ben Kingsley. And I said, putting these two people together, I definitely had to watch this show. I was very excited. Recently, I'd actually not rewatched. It was actually my first time. I'd never watched it when it came out. Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes. So I had watched a lot of the old animated shows. I went through all of the DC shows except for Static Shock. I need to go through Static Shock again. But every other DC animated show and movie, I think I went through and watched probably at least 90% of them, if not all. Not all the movies, but all the shows for sure. And then I've rewatched a lot of the Marvel shows as well. And so I had watched Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes for the first time. And I was like, man, this show was better than I thought. Deserved more than 2 seasons, but that's all we got. Hopefully they give us more. We just got X-Men 97. I had just rewatched X-Men 92, so give us a continuation of that. Go ahead. And they give it the X-Men 97 treatment. That would be phenomenal for that show because they did a crazy job of doing opposite of what the MCU did, but in animated form, and it was very comic accurate, and I love the way that they portrayed a lot of the characters in there. Whether I liked them or not, they did portray them pretty well. Wonder Man, Simon Williams Wonder Man was in Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes. He was more purple. He was purple looking. His brother, though, was featured very prominently in Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes. His brother is Eric Williams, the Grim Reaper. So I thought Eric Williams is in this show. Spoiler, Grim Reaper status is pending. Maybe he is. He's a senior VP of an insurance company. He got a lot of money, so he could be the Grim Reaper. He's a super villain. Loved him in Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes, though. Check that show out on Disney Plus if you've never watched it. This show is, I think every episode, I want to say, is directed and made by Destin Daniel Cretton. You guys know I love him as a director. He did Shang-Chi. He's supposed to be doing Spider-Man Brand New Day. I love him in Just Mercy. He was the director of Just Mercy. Phenomenal job in everything that he's directed so far. So I can't even wait for him to do Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure I'm going to love that because, not going to lie, Wonder Man, he did a great job. This show, like I said, is about Simon Williams. He is an actor who has powers. He is an actor who has powers, who is trying to suppress the fact that he has powers because of the doorman clause, which you'll learn about if you watch the show. I'm not going to ruin it for you. It's a whole new episode. It's a whole episode that explains everything. But it's basically being a superhero, being an actor in the MCU is a no-go. It's really, really hard for them to make it if they make it at all. So basically, for Simon Williams, his passion is he wants to be an actor. The show has I think Mayo. She was in The Farewell, another movie I loved. She is his agent Janelle in this movie. Show. It might as well be a movie. Latko Burek, I think is his name. He was in Superman recently. So since he was in the Superman movie, it was crazy to see him in here. And I'm like, wow. This show also had a lot of cameos. It had Ashley Greene, who plays Alice Cullen in Twilight. So that was cool to see her. It had Joe Pantoliano. Y'all know him from Bad Boys and The Matrix. He was in here. The director of Castle Rock was in here. I love Castle Rock, another amazing show. And Josh Gad was in this show as well. And Mario Lopez. So not a lot, but a decent amount of cool cameos that they had in this show. I personally didn't research, and I don't know when this show was set. I like to assume it was after Shang-Chi. Because Trevor had got out of jail as the Mandarin. In Shang-Chi, he got captured by the real Mandarin, and he was held in a prison. So after this show, I highly doubt he'll be captured again. So it makes sense that this show is probably after Shang-Chi. But basically, Simon Williams is acting on American Horror Story at the time, and he messes up because he's trying to add too much to the scene, and he's not that big of an actor. He's not that big of a name. He's more of an annoyance than he is a benefiting the talent. So they're like, hey, we're just going to write you out of the show because you're doing too much. And so he loses his job. He loses his girlfriend at the time because he doesn't open up enough. He has no friends. And so he gets into a bond and a relationship with Trevor Slattery. They start becoming friends. They start getting to know each other better. We find out that Arian Moayed, I think I said his name right. I don't know if I did. But he is from the Department of Damage Control. He was in Miss Marvel, that show, another good show to watch. And he was in Spider-Man as well. I feel like I remember him being in Spider-Man. He definitely, yes, because he's the one who arrested them in No Way Home. So he was in No Way Home as well. And he's back here. He's less annoying here than he usually is, like his character. But he's less annoying, kind of, than he usually is. But he offered Trevor a deal, and he's like, hey, you're back in the U.S., you didn't serve your full sentence. Yeah, this has to be after Shang-Chi, because he's like, you didn't serve your full sentence because you disappeared from jail. You disappeared from jail, you were gone, and you didn't finish out your sentence. Now you're back and you're free, but we're going to throw you back in jail unless you help us catch Simon. So they think, from based off information that they have, Simon has powers. The show kind of hides it for a bit, but we know he's Wonder Man. The main purpose of the show is they're doing a remake of an old movie called Wonder Man. So he finds out about this, and he decides that he wants to be the main actor because his dad took him to see it. Sadly, his dad had passed away. Just a really good story. The show is mainly about him suppressing the fact that he has abilities and powers, not only from the people in the universe, but the people in the audience, because his main focus is trying to be an actor, trying to be an actual actor that is respected and regarded as being a great actor, because he hasn't done anything else meaningful with his life, basically. There's a lot of points that touch on that. I loved the story in this show. It was very grounded. There's powers, but they're very subtle. There's a little bit of action, but not really. There's a scene that is crazy shocking that something happens, and it's like, whoa, what the heck? But I'm not going to ruin that for you either. But basically, the show progresses through him trying to become a successful actor and be Wonder Man in the show, when it's crazy because you start to find out he's Wonder Man in real life. And so he's so passionate about acting and so passionate about trying to do this thing and prove himself that's his driving factor. That's his motivation. And you see a lot of, I love the fact that another thing with this show is Trevor redemption from who we first see him as in Iron Man 3 as the Mandarin, but we find out he's the fake Mandarin. That was continued into Shang-Chi, and then it's full circle in this show. He really redeems himself as a character, and he's become a very interesting character that I love seeing. I love Ben Kingsley, so I love seeing him on screen as Trevor Slattery because this character has grown so much in the MCU. I like the fact that whoever's decision it was, I assume a couple of people, whoever decided to show these characters like this and make them grow in such a way and focus a lot on the writing, the dialogue. To be honest, this show, if you have not watched it, I've put a lot of shows here that y'all should definitely check out. It's very much akin to the MCU's version of Atlanta. So it's mature without being mature. There's not a lot of extra, which is crazy because my first iteration of Wonder Man, besides Earth's Mightiest Heroes, was I saw him in the MODOK show, which is a very mature show that's on Hulu. And he was dating and messing around with MODOK's wife when she decided to go. They were both going through their own little midlife thing. And she was like, you are a supervillain, I'm leaving you alone. He was a successful actor. She started dating him. And they were doing all types of things. So it's crazy to see the different iterations of Wonder Man. He's been different in every iteration. This is definitely my favorite so far, seeing him in this show. But I feel like they knocked the park out with the show. When I was watching it, at first I was like, this wasn't what I expected, but it was great. So it's like I watched it all the way through. I should have posted this review sooner because I finished it that first night. First night it came out, I watched it all the way through. The episodes are short. So my main gripe about this show, it could have been a little bit more action. And I only say that because Marvel is going to probably take a while to show him again and have him come up again. And I really like seeing Wonder Man in this iteration as a character. So I hope that we see him sooner. I hope they at least come out with a season 2. That's my main gripe. I wanted the episodes to be longer. They're like 20 to 30 minutes. They're super short, so it doesn't take long to get through them. And then I wanted the show, like, it needs to continue. Another thing, like She-Hulk. I wanted She-Hulk to be longer. I wanted the episodes to be longer. I wanted the show to be longer. But they gotta get a turnaround where these characters are coming and you're seeing more of these characters, especially Wonder Man. Like, I want a season 2, like, now. Like, that's how I felt as soon as I finished watching. Like, I need more. I need more of this. But I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for commenting, following my videos, liking, subscribing. I truly appreciate it. I pray that you guys have a wonderful night. Pray that things go well and that you have an encounter with Jesus if you haven't already. And just check out all the shows that I told y'all to check out. Tell me what you thought about Wonder Man if you have seen it already. If you haven't, tell me down below if you're going to watch it, if you might watch it. I'm thinking about doing a little series or something about what y'all, like maybe doing more reviews on things that have already came out to prepare for Doomsday, or just things that I watch in my free time that are kind of like things that people may not check out. But just let me know what you guys want. Anything y'all want more of. Like I said, thank you guys so much.